The rights of non-human animals, ethical debate. Introduction. In reality, all humans owe a duty to non-human animals for several reasons. For instance, non-human animals have rights and do not deserve the torturous and agonizing death that some of them get exposed to, such as the hold traps. Notably, some non-human animals go through pain, suffering, and deprivation, which eventually deny them the fundamental right to life. Indeed, this move might disallow them the right to live comfortably. However, the perception has received criticisms from Cohen's point of view, whose argument is that only the being that can make proper claims deserves a right. Furthermore, since non-human animals cannot respond to, or exercise moral claims, he believes that at no point do they deserve rights. Therefore, the issue is debatable, and opinions may differ from various perspectives, depending on one's understanding. Convincing argument. Regan argued that since animals are only seen as a means to human ends, they end up being surgically manipulated. Some are eaten, while others are exploited for monetary gain or sport. His argument is more convincing, considering the fact that non-human beings also have a sense of life. Regan was categorical and stated, "Your duty is to do the act that will bring about the best balance of satisfaction and frustration for everyone affected by the outcome." Cohen also argued that humans morally regard others more than non-human animals. It is also possible that non-human animals could have moral regard for their fellow than for human beings. This could be attributed to the cordial coexistence among various species of wild animals, but not human beings. The rationale for the chosen position. The rationale for favoring the position is that the human fraternity owes a duty to non-human animals, especially regarding the utility of the animals. How humans relate to or treat non-human animals is sometimes traumatizing. It is critical to consider why someone would intend to gain from the animals if they do not care about their welfare. For sure, it is grossly irrational and unjustifiable to surgically manipulate, eat, and exploit non-human animals for monetary gain or sport. Indeed, this is not acceptable to the human beings who proclaim ethics and moral values of reasoning. Certainly, the claim that non-human animals cannot respond to, or exercise moral claims does not give the freedom to subject them to unjust treatment. Notably, as human beings consider their life important, so do non-human animals. This clarifies that humans should not disregard the importance of life to non-human animals, thus, they need all the necessary protection from undue treatment and probable termination of their life. It does not augur well to merely expect financial or prestigious gain from non-human animals whose welfare does not traumatize the person. As much as humans do not deserve injustice, non-human animals too should not be discriminated against. Domestic and non-domestic roles of non-human animals should determine the mode of treatment that the human beings subject them to. Having this principle in mind, humans really have direct and indirect duties to the animals. Personal critical comments. The other side of the debate, discrediting the rights of non-human animals, seems to lack the moral and ethical principles of decision-making. In essence, implying that the non-human animals do not respond to, or exercise moral claims is an insensitive perception because such animals have their ways of expressing their feelings and desires. Though such expressions might not be understood by many human beings, the non-human animals themselves, under the various groups, do understand each other and respond appropriately to the call for urgency. The other problem with the argument is that it claims rights cannot arise from non-human animals because they lack the capacity to make free moral judgments. This made the author claim that such animals do not have rights and can never have any. However, this position is controversial since each animal has some sense of morality. The only difference is that the term morality is relative and depends on one's perception. What human beings believe to be moral might not be considered moral to non-human animals, and vice versa occurs. Probably, this is an indication that the judgment of moral or immoral acts varies according to one or group's perception and orientation, and thus should not be used to apply to other groups or categories of animals. Take the example of a lioness who would like to guard her children against predators, or a lion who intends to protect his territory. In fact, those non-human animals would do whatever they consider moral to protect either the young ones or the territory respectively. Even if this would mean killing the assailant, the animals would do exactly that and become really justified that they have fulfilled their moral obligation of protection of the cubes or territory for that matter. However, for human beings, this action would not justify moral conduct, and some would think that the only option is to kill the animal. This becomes an antagonistic issue between an issue considered to be philosophical and the fact. In my own perception, just as much as human beings set moral laws for themselves and others, non-human animals also formulate the rules that govern their existence and relationship with others. In fact, there are certain things that non-human animals consider as trespass and would do whatever it takes to prevent such from happening. Therefore, they punish the trespassers within the moral parameters which they have set. In most cases, trespassing into other non-human animals' territories attracts a death penalty. For example, animals such as lions, leopards, crocodiles, and hippopotamuses among others would kill human trespassers, whom they consider their enemies. Indeed, this does not mean that such actions are out of moral principles, as this position is merely based on human perception. In addition, as Cohen believed that human beings want to be morally autonomous, it is apparent that non-human animals would also like to remain morally autonomous within their environmental context. This is justified by Cohen's response about committing animals to moral justice. In his response, he argued that even human beings such as the brain-damaged, the senile, and the comatose among others, who may not make ethical claims, deserve their right. Therefore, it should equally apply to non-human animals, meaning that the latter also deserve the rights. Conclusion. In summary, just as human beings deserve the rights, non-human animals also deserve the rights, proper treatment, and adequate care. In addition, life is very significant to all animals, and that human beings owe a duty to the non-human animals. In this regard, non-human animals should not be exploited for monetary gain or sport.